world's most powerful operational rocket, SpaceX's Falcon Heavy, took to the Florida skies for the first time in over 3 years on November 1 for the ussf-44 mission, a U.S. Space Force contracted flight with a classified payload, and at least one rideshare satellite. SpaceX's Falcon Heavy rocket, which consists of 3 of the company's modified Falcon 9 first-stage boosters strapped together, lifted off from Pad 39A here at NASA's Kennedy Space Center, KSC, at 9:41 a.m. EDT, 1341 GMT, amid thick fog at the launch pad. The Heavy carried a handful of classified payloads toward geostationary orbit for the U.S. Space Force on a mission called ussf-44. On this mission, the Falcon Heavy rocket reached a new milestone on its 4th ever flight. This was both Falcon Heavy's and SpaceX's first mission direct to geostationary orbit, GEO. To achieve this direct-to-GEO trajectory, the Falcon Heavy upper stage had a multi-hour coast phase between the GTO and GEO insertion burns. Traditionally, most missions, including Falcon 9 flights, sent payloads destined for GEO into a geostationary transfer orbit, GTO. This allows the spacecraft to propel itself into its eventual final orbit in GEO more than 35,200 kilometers, 22,000 miles, above the Earth rather than the launch vehicle. On board were at least 2 different spacecraft, Tetra 1 and a second unknown satellite. There was the possibility that there were additional classified payloads on board, but exact details were not released before liftoff. Tetra 1 was designed and built by Millennium Space Systems, a Boeing company. Completed in 2020, Tetra 1 is a microsatellite created for various prototype missions in and around GEO. Tetra 1 was the first prototype award under the U.S. Space Force's Space and Missile Systems Center's Space Enterprise Consortium Other Transaction Authority, OTA, charter. The spacecraft is based on the Altair-class small satellite product line. It is the first Altair satellite to qualify for operations in GEO. The mission, originally procured as a SFC-44 for the U.S. Air Force, cost approximately $150 million back in 2019 and was scheduled for liftoff no earlier than Q4 of 2020. However, the mission faced multiple delays as a result of what officials called payload readiness issues. The exact readiness problems were not publicly released. SpaceX's Falcon Heavy rocket is made up of 3 boosters on its first stage, a center core booster and 2 side boosters. Each contains 9 Merlin 1D engines, the same amount as a traditional Falcon 9. While the side boosters can be converted for use as Falcon 9s, the center core is enhanced to withstand the forces of liftoff that come with being connected to the side boosters and cannot be converted. This mission used 3 brand new boosters. The side boosters, B1064 and B1065, landed at landing zones 1 and 2, LZ1 and LZ2, at the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. Back in 2021, officials initially announced these boosters would land on 2 barges floating downrange. However, it was changed recently to a return to launch site, RTLS, profile, resulting in near-simultaneous landings at LZ1 and LZ2. As a result of the challenging launch profile, the new center core, B1066, was expended after completing its mission.